roller skating. I know I'm not the only one who's been seeing all these videos on TikTok and Instagram of people lacing up their skates, putting on these cute outfits and vibing out to their favorite music. But this isn't just some trend that resurrected during quarantine. People have been roller skating for decades, and especially in the Black community, they never took their skates off. So here with us for a special one-on-one edition of Keep It Social is Jasmine Moore, skater extraordinaire, who joins us from California. Hi, Jasmine, how are you?
Hi, Terrence. I'm so happy to be here with you today to talk about roller skating and just my passion for what roller skating is and what it means to the Black community.
Yes, absolutely. And you recently were featured in a Teen Vogue article that was all about Black women who are really holding their own in roller skating. And there's a quote from you in there
Mhm.
where you talk about how it does make you happy to see all these people picking up roller skating
Uh-huh.
as a hobby, but you want them to know the history behind it. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right. So I had the amazing, I cannot emphasize that enough, amazing opportunity to be a part of a Teen Vogue article with other Black skaters, Lily, my friend Tony, my friend Aaliyah, and my friend Camry, which also awesome because I knew all of them before this. We had so many conversations at length about what our culture really has to do with roller skating and how we as Black women contribute so much to this culture. I'm really happy that so many people are getting into roller skating right now. But you also have to realize that as much as it is cool to learn something new, you also have to learn about all the things that came with it before that, whether that be good and bad. And a lot of the times in the past, like 60s through 80s, and even still now, contemporarily, we still see this in these hidden microaggressions that there are certain practices that roller rinks would use to prohibit Black skaters from coming into roller rinks, whether that be you can't have fiberglass wheels, which typically Black skaters have, which are smaller wheels in comparison to like the outdoor wheels you see most people with, or like no sagging pants, or no um just different stylistic things that you couldn't do. So they weren't necessarily saying, we're not allowing Black skaters here, but it was implied.
Yeah.
And when you don't know how to read into those implicit, I guess, biases and implicities, it's very easy to just see past them if they don't apply to you. But if you're like me, or if you're another Black skater, you see that and you immediately, it says, I'm not welcome here. And so much of roller skating, whether that be, culturally, fashion and stylistically, and even just musically, so much of roller skating culture is embedded in Black culture. And it was largely a place where Black people could find liberation and to really just enjoy who they truly are without having to worry about the outside forces coming down on them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at roller skating now and seeing what media is showing it to be, a lot of people see that as erasure of what was actually there.
Absolutely. And what you're saying, I mean, it reminds me of like my own, I've told you that I'm not really a skater,
Uh-huh.
I tried. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Jasmine. I tried to go out and I did my little thing, and I was like, oh my god, I hope I'm not falling. But it was fun, and it reminded me of when I was younger and would go to birthday parties and celebrations at the America USA, Skateland USA
Uh-huh.
in Greensboro, North Carolina, and it was a huge thing. And there were predominantly Black people at the roller skating rink, although it was pretty a diverse crowd. But
Yeah.
all of the things that you see, like in the movie ATL, when you see the dancing and the groups coordinating the skates,
Uh-huh.
roll bounce, and that's all reflective of stuff that happens in actual skating rinks, and especially with Black people. And so I really am feeling what you're
Exactly.
saying, and even if it is something that is not like, you're not necessarily doing splits and aerial flips and stuff
Right.
like that, like you still feel that freeing moment, like you said, just putting your earbuds in and kind of vibing to your music and just going with
Mhm.
the flow and hopefully not falling. So
Hopefully not falling. I saw the video that you shared with me of you roller skating, and I will say something that I want to emphasize. It's like you had a lot of good things going. Give yourself some credit. You had a lot of good things
Thanks.
going. You had your protective gear on, which is so important. And I will say myself, I neglect wearing safety gear, but that's just because I'm in environments where I feel safe
Yes.
and I know the environment and I know the space. And also, you were wearing something that you felt cute in and that you felt confident
And
in.
it matched.
And it matched. And I think that in itself is something that adds to your skate experience. It's not just about let me just put my skates on and go sometimes. It's very much a full, a full body experience of like, I'm going to put something on where I feel confident and I feel happy and I feel, like I said, liberated. So
Right.
many people that I know of in the skate community, and tying this into a series that I actually have called Skate Dial, where I reach out to unique skaters in the community to talk about personal growth, roller skating, and everything in between, is that people find roller skating at a very unique point in their life.
Mm,
To me, and maybe this is cliche, I really think roller skating finds people when they need it to find them. And every roller skater that you ask will have a very definitive story on how and why they started roller skating. And I think that is what adds such another dimension to just, I'm putting on my 8 wheels and I'm going. Because for a lot of people, like I said, like this is not just a hobby. This is really a lifestyle. I've talked to people who've been skating for decades and they do not intend on stopping. They're going to skate literally until the wheels fall off, kind of thing. Like it's not just, a little weekend hobby. It's very much what they do and what gives them life, what brings I guess vivacity to who they are.
mm.
So when I see people coming into roller skating right now, like it makes me so excited because I know that this is a journey that they're going to start not only with themselves, but the community of roller skating is so strong that they're being welcomed into a place where wanting to progress and wanting to help each other is also always going to be there. So the support system is very, very big.
Yeah. Right on. And also,
Mm,
I'm also realizing that skating rinks are one of those businesses that is really suffering in the pandemic because we can't gather. You can't
mm,
necessarily have hundreds of people in a skating rink. Here in Boston, Shea
right.
Goose Skating Rink is one of those places that's on the brink of closing. And so, what does that mean?
Mm,
I mean, on the one hand, there is a loss there, right? There's a loss of community and a place to
mm.
gather. But with people coming outside and trying to create that community in the streets, do you think it'll live on in that way?
So a lot of people just see roller skating as, oh, this is an outside activity. They don't really connect. They don't make the connection. So
Hmm.
it's like I'm hoping, like my fingers are so crossed, that people make that connection and translate their love for roller skating that they took on during the pandemic and translate that into long term of let's get these rinks back going. Like I want to be able to take my kid to a rink in the future, like for generations to be able to have that experience of going to the roller rink and having a birthday party,
Yeah.
at the rink. Things like that where it's like that experience cannot be emulated somewhere else, and the more we shut down rinks, the harder it is to bring that back.
Well, hey, I'll be crossing my fingers with you and hope that those skates can roll from the
Right.
streets and back into the rink. Jasmine, thanks so much for being with us and skate on.
Thank you so much for having me. I had such a wonderful time, Paris. Literally, thank you, Keep It Social, for having me here. I seriously had a fantastic time. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day.
You too, Jasmine. And for everyone watching, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And until then, keep it social.